Yo, guys. Today I thought I'd give a little story time about what's been happening in the month of April in 2022. Because it's been a very funny time in my life. Like, right now, I'm in between two jobs. Like, I've got this. If you're wondering what this is, I'm a receptionist in a martial arts school. It's so much more than that, but that's like the heading, basically. And my other job, I work in a DIY store and I literally lift like loads of stock, like flooring and tiling, so lots of like heavy boxes and stuff all day, and help customers. But it's been so funny in the last month. Like, my retail job has been trying to fire me because of like politics and like my management. They just have like a problem in their life and they love taking it out on other people. That's retail summarized for you, if you will. Everyone thinks like retail like is so shit because yeah, like, you deal with customers, but honestly, the management is way worse than the customers, and no one talks about it. Like, I feel like I've never heard about that. Like, I always say, "Oh, retail's so shit. You got to deal with shitty customers all day." Like, "Oh, being a waiter must be so bad. Like dealing with terrible customers." Nah, bruv. The management is the problem. It's not even the customers. Like, I deal with the customer. The customer's gone in half an hour. The management is there for like years, bruv. That's my problem. But anyway, like, it's been so funny because like I go to my retail job and like these lot literally like have a problem with how you live your life. Whereas in this job, like what you see me doing now, like everyone's so great, so hilarious. Like, in my retail job, for example, this one time I'd come in the morning at 7 a.m. and I'm lifting like stock, and I've had a lot of customers that day. So for the first hour, I haven't been able to do a lot of stock. And my store manager, who's like, got like 40 years of experience in the field, has like, got, yeah, all the experience in the field, and he's the store manager, for God's sake, innit? Like, he's the manager of management, someone to lead by example. He comes up to me, yeah, looks at me, he's like, "You've only done one pallet." And he literally looks at me like he's disappointed, yeah, and he's like, "This is a joke." And I'm like, I don't even know what to say at this point because I'm so shocked. I'm like, "Bruv, are you serious right now? You're taking the piss." Like, I'm here, yeah. Like, I've seen like at least five people hurt their back in this job, yeah. And you're here looking at me like I'm a flipping like something disgusting for helping customers, like, which is my job, and not being able to work the stock. And I'm just like, bro, you are in such a like, what is wrong with you? Like, something's different in your head. Like, I don't know what's gone on in your personal life for you to like be at this position where you think it's okay to shout at another person for like trying their best at their job. And it's so frustrating because you try and like do your best at your job, and there's someone here that's like, triple your age, that can't even like help themselves, let alone help you. You know what I mean? So it's so crazy. Like, retail has just been teaching me so many things in the last like 4 years since I've left school. Like, I'm 22 as of now, and I started working as a waiter at 18. And like since then, I worked as a waiter for like 8 months, and then like in the my new retail job, lifting and like helping customers mostly, for about 3 years now. And it's taught me so much, and it's made me appreciate this new job so much more. Like, you're probably thinking like, "Oh, you're just mopping the floor and hoovering." Like, this is like one of my favorite parts of the job. Funnily enough, like, I was at reception this day that you're watching right now. Like, I was at reception sitting there, and I finished my shift at 9. Yeah, so I'm thinking, "Oh, I'm going home at 9." And if you work in retail right now, you're gonna relate to this so much. But I'm finishing at 9, and someone tells me, "Oh, you got to close up." And I'm like, "Okay, cool, I'll close up." I didn't even care. Like, I got a mop up and everything. I was kind of looking forward to it, weirdly enough. Whereas in my retail job, if my employer ever asks me like, "Oh, stay another hour or 2 hours," I'm just like, safe. I'm doing nothing. Not even because like it's such a like burden to me, but more because like you treat me like shit. Why am I like helping you out? Do you know what I mean? You like, you've got to give to get as well. You've got to provide value both ways. Like, fair enough, you're paying me to do my job, but you're disrespecting me as well. Like, do you pay me enough for that as well? So in this job, it's so crazy because like I stayed another like 90 minutes, like till like 10:30 at night, like just cleaning up. And like, I was so happy to do it because I was like, you know what, like, like, I'm not treated like shit here, so I will go like steps above to help them out. You know what I mean? Like, funnily enough, to show you the difference between management and leadership, this is the biggest difference. In this job, the next day I was cleaning and I was mopping up. I had to clean up again, and my manager, I don't want to call him manager, but my manager, my employer, helped me mop up. Like we were both mopping up together. That's the difference between management and leadership. You know, management tells you what to do. Leadership shows you. You know what I mean? Like management tells you like, oh, do this, do that. You're doing a shit job. Leadership is like, oh, how can I help you do a better job? Like your employer should come up to you and tell you, you know, how can I help you? But yeah, that was my ramble. The video's finished already. That was quick. But I just thought I'd come on here and talk a bit. If you want me to talk a bit more about like my martial art job and like, because there's so much more, I could go on all day. If you want to hear more about like these stories and like me talking rather than just like explaining what I've learned, like me documenting my process, me telling stories. If you want to hear this part, I'd really appreciate if you let me know, because I'm not sure. Like in my head, I always think like, oh, people only want to take on what brings them value. Like I always think like, oh, I need to give you guys value, and I always like have these moments where I stop posting for like a couple of weeks because I'm thinking like, oh, I'm not providing any value. I have nothing to say. I have nothing to write, but I have loads to show you of what I'm working on. There's so many projects I'm working on, like not even so many these days, but like so many things I have that I've worked on and like I've left, and it's taught me so much, and I can document that. I can tell you stories about that. Like I tried a business, I've tried coding, I've tried graphics design, you know, gaming online, and like, you know, there's so many things I've tried, like read loads of books, like 100 books, and there's so many things I've tried and learned from. Like I can tell you stories about that. There's not like much value I can think of to get from that, but maybe you can take some value from the story like this. So if you get any value from this, if you enjoy it, please let me know by giving me a like or messaging me, because I know some people don't want to message me because like I feel like they don't know me well enough to let me know that, oh, I watch your videos. So just give me a like, or like give me an indicator where you're enjoying this video more than the others, so I know to carry on stuff like this, because it's hard for me to find out like what kind of stuff people enjoy and don't. So let me know. Anyway, if you did, let me know. If not, love.